You know me and where you are. You're at the Center for Photography at Woodstock, now in Kingston. My name is Sarah Danziger. I'm the Education Program Manager here at CBW, and I'm also the host of our weekly Meet the Artists evening here, where we discover new work from local and visiting artists. I don't believe I have any news to share right now. We're in the midst of a construction over at our new building, so we don't have any exhibitions through this year, and we're operating on a limited basis here with our digital media lab. So if you notice some of our equipment's back over here, that's why. So I'm going to speak a little bit about our speaker tonight, and then we'll welcome her up. Maedeh Ojaghloo, an Iranian artist and social activist, was born in 1993 and raised in Iran. She earned her MA degree in animation in Iran and moved to the United States in 2022 to pursue an MFA degree in photography and related media at SUNY New Paltz. As a multidisciplinary artist, she believes that being an artist means being an activist. Her work reflects the environment she comes from while adapting it to her new surroundings by integrating archives from her past. She brings attention to the challenges faced by individuals in Iran, a nation marred by state-endorsed brutality and the suppression of women. Through her art, she engages audiences in her community's experiences, amplifying silent voices. Can we give a warm welcome to Maedeh?
Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming. And yeah, beyond, I don't know, I have never saw. Beyond Shattered Honor, it was my last project that I did at SUNY New Paltz, also my thesis project. And it's about the honor killing in Iran. So honor killing. So the first question that every time I present my work here, people ask is that what's the honor killing? Because we don't have exact word as we have in Farsi in English. So technically, honor killing is an act of violence where family member, most of the time, and usually women, are murdered for bringing shame or dishonor to their family. And this can happen for too many reasons. So it could be that they rejected forced marriage, or they have a relationship and a fear out of the family circle, or even for showing their hair or dressing in the way that society doesn't like it. And if I say that doesn't like it, it's exactly that society doesn't like it. So that's very common reason that we have. And also related to this reason, it's too many causes that make this reason, such as child marriage and forced marriage, that very related to each other. Specifically, that child marriage, most of the victim of honor killing, if you read their story, you see that all of them first was victim of the child marriage, and after that, victim of the honor killing. And the other causes is that about the society, that they think that, okay, they have the relationship with the other man or something like that. So technically they have right to kill the women because of these reasons. So in my work, I looked and researched about the Iran's honor killing, and also I researched about the most important causes, that was child marriage. In 2022, around 27,000 girls under the age of 15 were married, and over 1,300 girls under 15 became a mother. So I think that's obvious that how it's going to be uh, important, and how it's scary that childcare, even they don't know that how, they just play with their toys and suddenly everyone just move them from the uh, child childhood area to the adult area, and that caused too many things such as rape, forced marriage, and at the end as a honor killing, because after they growing up, they figure it out. Okay, they don't want this relationship. They don't want be a stay in the place that no one respect them, and the people just see them as an object. So that's the most important cause that we have in honor killing in Iran. So child marriage is also play a big role because according to the laws in Iran, girls can legally marry at age 9. So imagine that you're 9 years old, you don't know anything, and suddenly one day your parents come and say that, oh, you have to marry with the one other man that's maybe 13 years older than you, and just this. So uh, it's very scary because uh, they don't give the opportunity to the girls and women to educate themselves, so they don't know anything about their rights, and also they control the sexuality of the women, because they say that, okay, if you want to have a fear, so this is your husband now, even if he's old and you're only 9 or 10, so this is what it is. And it's a very important cause that most of the victim face with it. Another reason that honor killing is very common in Iran is that because of the laws. I don't know, maybe you know or no, but because of the Islamic regime that rules in Iran, all the laws in Iran is under the Sharia laws, Islamic laws. So technically, in Islam, women count as an object, and they belong to the man. For example, they belong to their father, they belong to their brother, or even they belong to their husband after get married. And this give opportunity. That reason give the opportunity to the man that say that, okay, so you are mine, you don't have any right, and if you do something that I feel that it dishonor, so I can kill you. And the other thing about the Sharia laws in Iran is that technically we don't have any punishment for men in Iran for honor killing. For example, if the father kill his daughter, after 4 years, they release him from the jail. So no punishment, nothing, because he's the father, he knows better, and also his daughter is for him. It's an object. It's something that they can play any way that they want. So that's the other thing that's very that make the honor killing very common in Iran. And also the other reason is that community and society. So most of the small area in Iran, they have the very strict gender-based rules. So that gives them the opportunity that say that the honor of the family tied to the woman. So if you do anything, people talk behind us, and that means dishonor, you bring the shame to the family. For example, if the society in a small area again that see you with another boy, so they talk about that. Oh, we see your. They talk with the family and say that. Oh, we see your daughter with another boy. They love each other, and they start talking behind the woman. And at that point, that bring the dishonor and shame to the family. So again, that's another reason that they can kill the woman. Ghazal Mona Haydari, 24 December 2024 and 5th February 2022, was an Iranian teenager girl who was beheaded in Ahvaz in Iran in an honor killing by her husband. Mona and her husband were first cousins. Picture and voices of her husband, Sajjad Haydari, smiling while carrying her head caused widespread outrage in Iran. So that's the thing. She wanted to divorce and she ran away from home. Her father and her uncle, who was her father-in-law too, they took her back. And after one day, her husband beheaded her. It was very that happened, and when that happened, it was very famous in Iran because of the husband. That it was even for us that it was very scary that one person carry his wife's head in a street. And in his interview, he said that actually I did this because I want to show the people that I have honor. People say that because you don't have honor, your wife ran away. So now I show you that I have honor. So I kill her, I beheaded her, and show you that how I can show you the honor that I have. So this tragedy was very sad, and after this, most of the people start talking about the honor killing because, as I mentioned before, that because of the Sharia laws, even government start cover this act. So technically, they support this act because they don't want women have right and choose and make a decision for their life. So as a woman and also the girl who from Iran, and I lived there 28 years, and also social activist, I work with the children, child laborers, children has a cancer, poor family, women, and all these things. And also, as an Iranian person, I start to thinking about my project, that how I can show the people, how I can be the voice of the women, of the victim that we never heard them. Since I moved to United States, September 2022, women in Iran started the revolution, Women Life Freedom. And I wanted to show the work and create the work that respect the woman, because I was from that society, and not only me, even the other girls and other women. As a person who live at that society, it wasn't a day that we never thought that, okay, for example, I have a relationship. So if my father knows that, he definitely will kill me. So as a woman, all of us has this opinion every time we did or do, even now. that is a very common opinion. So I wanted to show respect to the women that they start changing this problem and they start fighting for their rights. I start working on this project and create something here to talk with the people, because I knew that honor killing is not. You can find the honor killing actually even in United States, everywhere, but it's not common as I say in my country. But even you can find honor killing here in United States, but most of the people, they never even hear about that honor killing, because it's a few, maybe one time in the year you can hear that, oh, that's an honor killing. So I start working on Beyond Shadow Honor project that show that these women, they're not bringing the dishonor and shame to their family. Actually, what their parents and their husband did, that's bringing the shame to the family. And also, I wanted to show their faces and criticize every reason and causes that we have related to uh, this issue. First thing, I start working on archive. As I mentioned that technically we have the lake of archive about honor killing, because government doesn't want to show that how many cases related to the honor killing we have each year. So every time something happened, it's you just see this in the social media. So I start make the digital archive about the about the victim honor killing since 2020 until 2023, and I start making the card and write their story in my website. So show you. So this is the stories that I found until my thesis show, and I try to make the card and write their story. So if people wants to read about them, they know that where they can find. So some of them has a name, has a picture, but some of them even doesn't have a name. It's just unknown people that the people just split the news that, oh, one person died because of the honor killing, for example, in our neighbors, like this. It's an unknown woman, 42 years old, October 14, 2023, he murdered by her husband. And you can find the story, but you cannot see the picture, because that's another reason that showing woman's picture in public, again, it's bring the dishonor and shame to the family. So even after women's die, they never show the woman's face. So I try to make the archive of this victim and these women to make the story, and I just try to be their voices. And after that, let me, okay. Yes, that's an archive, a screenshot of the archive that I have. And after that, sorry, I start choose 6 picture to show their faces on the transparent paper. So I choose these 6% because they are famous in Iran. Even without any archive. Everyone knows about their story. So Donyara's, can I show you that from? I just start tell her names from left. دنیا رضایی، غزل، لیلا، زیلان، فائزه، فاطمه. So each person has a unique story. One of them beheaded, one of them shot, one of them burned alive by their father, by their husband, their brother, and their uncle. And the reason of the reason behind of this killing, it was that rejected the forced marriage, came late to the home. Actually, that person at the left, her father killed her because she came home very late. And I don't know, but I don't think that it's a good reason that you can kill one person just because you came late. So bring that dishonor. So good for you. And we talk about the Gaza, the other one, Layla, her husband, killed her because of the divorce. Zilan, Faiza, she wanted to get married for the second one, and she chose her husband, second husband. And her father said that, oh, really? Do you have right? No, and I don't let you choose this person, so I burn you alive. It's when it's even for me that's growing up at that society and see all these things every day. Even this is like it's a paradox that you heard that, oh, one person burned her daughter alive because of the second marriage. It's like a joke, but it's not a joke. It's just, it's a, I don't know how should I explain, but it's, sorry about my language, but it's a stupid reason that just for this, it's very stupid. I'm sorry. So I printed this image on the translucent paper, and I start playing with shadow because, in my opinion, the pictures and also full shadow, it's a composition of the before and after. So the picture shows that this person is not exist anymore, but the shadow, in my opinion, was that this person exists. Even after that, it exists that you can see her face. Even they don't want to show her face in the news and publics. So that was my reason that I start working on shadow and translucent. And also the other thing that I wanted to show people, because I said before that it's a very we don't hear too many times here about the honor killing. So technically, people cannot maybe feel that how it's working. So I wanted, the other reason that I start playing with shadow was that people can see their shadow on their shadow. So for a second, they just put themselves in their situation and know that, okay, how is feeling that in a minute you exist and in another minute your parents, the man of the family, can kill you. I think specifically nowadays that we talk about the woman's right and everything, it's very necessary that we feel these issues when people don't want to talk about it. So I wanted people feel themselves in their place. And I don't know, but according to the news and all my conversation I had with the people, they say that they felt it. They felt that how it's scary that you see yourself in their image, in their shadow, because it shows that, okay, it could be happen for all of us, but thank God. Even it could be happen for me just because I had a good family, or just because my father loves his children. That doesn't mean that it couldn't happen for me, because we grow up at that culture, and even all these people talk behind us too. But I was like, I'm lucky, not was. I'm lucky, and too many people, they are lucky that have the father and family that they support each other, but most of them, they're not lucky as us. So that was my other reason that I printed this image uh, on the translucent and playing and show this to the people. Another element I have in my artwork is a mihrab sculpture. I created this with the wood. So mihrab is a very important element in Islam. It looks like it works. Mihrab works as a compass that shows the Mecca and God's house in the mosque. So the way that everyone knows that when you are going to the mosque, if you see that mihrab, you have to pray to God at that way. So you cannot stay behind the mihrab and pray to the God. You have to stay in the exact way that mihrab shows you. So I start working to make the mihrab because it's very old architect. It's very old architect sculpture, and also it's very important. So I try to make the mihrab as a exact size that they make it at the mosque. So I start looking for the size and the depths and everything, and after that, I just uh, got this sketch, my very first sketch, that 2 meter from height, 1 meter at the bottom, 20 centimeter as a depth. So I start recreated, but I start recreated with the wood, and also for design the mihrab, I start to bring the element that I can criticize the religion. So as you can see, we have the typography in the real mihrab in Arabic, and it's they wrote the Quran at the mihrab. So I just wanted to show something that, okay, so you talk about the God, you killing under the Sharia law, so it's not working. So I start making that text by the victim's name that I have. So I burn their name with my handwriting on the wood. I have the 2 panel. So I wrote 250 names in the right side and 250 name as a left side, 500 victim name as a Quran. So I think that's the most important part on my project, because I could show that, okay, so what if that, first of all, which God say that you can kill under my name? And second one, how you can say that this is the God, this is the way that you can be close to the God and you kill one person? I cannot understand how it's working, honestly. And the other thing that mihrab in the mosque, it's always vertical because that shows the respect to the God, that vertical. So I put, sorry, where is it? Okay. I put them on the ground to criticize the religion and put them at the way that shows the victim names and pictures. And I wanted to show that, okay, this time you have to pray on these women and these people that you killed. Because if you want to pray, you have to pray for forgiveness from these people. I think that's more important that you pray to the God and kill the other people. So, yes, and I put this on the floor. And another element I start working was the design of the mihrab. First, I started working on tiles because Persian tiles is very famous for the design. So I start working to see that how it's working. And these two is two sample of tiles that I made. But because of the time, I didn't have enough time to make 600 tiles with the texture and all this pattern. I changed my opinion, honestly. However, I love the tiles and I really want to make this more. I create the pattern with the hand and a stencil. So I use the stencil with the Persian design. We call it tahsib in Iran, or Islami, but it's very different. Islami is from Islam, so it's more Arabic. Tahsib, it's more Iranian. So I use the tahsib pattern and make it gold, and I start drawing the line around the pattern. So that was the another element that I'm working as a design element for my mihrab to make it as real that I can. And the blue, the color of the blue, it's that most of the mihrab in the mosque is blue. Blue is very important color in Islam. So that was the another thing. So another element I made, it was the sculpture, but a body sculpture, but we called it in the school dead body. So everyone knows that it was the dead body. So we don't have coffin in Islam. So we wrap the body with a specific cloth. We call it kafan. We wrap the body with that and bury this on the under the ground. So I start create the body because when we don't have coffin, the way that I wanted to show that that's the people that die. So it was, it was the challenge for me from the different person, different culture, to show these issues to the new culture with the very, very different culture. That was my problem, honestly. But I just thought that, okay, if I make it as simple as I can, so people can feel it better. So I start making that body sculpture with the kafan, the cloth that we have, and we wrap the body to make the shape of the body. And this is, again, is in the real size of the body. And I wrap this with the Persian rock. It's not the real Persian rock. It's very expensive, honestly. It was $70,000. So I don't say that it's not real Persian. So, but the pattern is the Persian rock. So this is the way that we as a resource, this is the way that I told you that we wrap the body with the kafan like this. And also we use the rug or carpet to wrap the body when we want to bury the body. And also before we use the gravestone, we cover the grave with the rug. So I made the sculpture at the same way that we have, and at the same way that the actual way that we have the ceremony to bury the body. And then another reason that I say that I use the rock, it was very important for me that I use the rock, honestly, because this project was about the woman. And the main people who create the rock is a woman. So most of the, not new generation as me, but most of the old women, such as my grandmas and my grandma generation before, actually, all of them knew about how create the rock, how they can make it. So the reason that I choose the rock, it was that, okay, everyone in the world knows about the Persian rock. It's very famous. It's very famous. So the reason of this beautiful object is a woman. So I show this to say that, okay, see, everyone knows us because of this beautiful object, but you kill the reason, you kill the person that who can create this beautiful object. So it was the paradox, I think, but I wrapped the body with the Persian rock. And I used the flower. That's Sarah. And thanks to Corina that took this picture, honestly. I chose the flower to make it the real funeral ceremony. So technically my thesis was the real funeral ceremony that people just took the flower, put that on the sculpture, so they show their respect to the women and show them that, okay, we hear you, we know that what's happened. So that was the reason that I used the flower too. Another element I had, it was the digital video that you can see her husband in an honor killing. So I try to make their story in one line and project the video to the people that knows that, okay, what's the meaning of this dead body. So it was obvious that something happened here, but it wasn't obvious that, okay, who is this person? So I project the video and also talk about their story. So I just wanted to let people read their story, and feel what they felt at that time when they died. And also I printed the full story of the another famous victim and printed them on the fine art paper. As a gift, it couldn't be a gift card, but I wanted to people take the paper and have that paper to know that as a notice, as a reminder that something happened. So, and also I wanted to people read more about these issues. So I have this print for the people too. And yes, thank you. Thank you. Yes.
Have you ever been a woman who killed her daughter?
No, but most of the time they be quiet. They should be silent, or they help the father, or they just be a reason, you know. But no, as I know.
They don't help the father, they become the victim.
Yes, exactly. Because they belong to their husband, you know. It just again that just everything just for the man, for the father, for the man of the family.
You think it hurts the heart of the woman?
Hmm?
You think it hurts their heart?
Yes, absolutely. Some of, for example, this person, Romina, her mother sued the father after his father beheaded her because she ran away with another man, with her boyfriend actually. Um, his father beheaded her. Her mother didn't want it, and he sued the father. But the court say that actually we don't care that what you say, because she said that her mother said that I want you execute the father because he killed my daughter. But the another thing that mother doesn't have right to their children. So the court say that in a simple way, we don't care what you say, and they release the father after 8 years. Yes.
It seemed like you were finding out about these other claims through social media. How has that changed since the Women Life Freedom Movement?
Mhm.
Does the archive stay updated? With, and is there an opportunity for other people to submit women's stories that they might have?
Actually, after Women Life Freedom, everything changed because suddenly all the women start talking about their rights. Even not talking, they start revolution. So people start talking more about everything. So it let the people that talk more about their stories. And yes, you can find again. It's more stories that you can find about the honor killing. It's not even only honor killing. It's about the family, even family issues or anything. But it helps the people that talk more, because one of the consequences of the honor killing is that it forces you to be silent. So don't talk about anything. Be silent if you want to be alive. So we passed this step, I think, after Woman Life Freedom, and all the people, yes, just uh, start about talk about the story. They can submit the story in the specific website, but not in this website, because I think it's too much responsibility that you heard the stories and you talk about, it's too much responsibility for me specifically. But it's a one or it's actually two very famous websites that every day they update the stories. So I think each day they update at least, you can find at least four feminicide. Feminicide is the correct word? Feminicide? Yes. At least four related to honor killing, only honor killing, not only the family dispute or, the different thing that we have. Yeah.
So this is on a daily, like four is put up on that site?
What?
It's on like every day four?
Yes, they always, yeah.
Okay. And I have two questions for you.
Yes.
The first one is, do you know anyone that this happened to personally? And number two, like, how is that like to live in like a society like that? Because like for me, every time I hear these stories, I feel like super stressed out.
Mhm.
Like being a woman, and even like being here in America, I literally just had someone chastise me last night because I was like a party. And like, Jamaican dance hall or culture, you can't free up yourself, right? So I had on a sheer topless pretty much. And he was like, oh, why you went out there doing all that for free and all this? And I'm like, my culture is not about free or getting paid. It's like celebrating being young and living life. So to come from a culture like that, like, it just stresses me out. Things I do, like regular in my culture, is like the biggest deal. So how would that work from a culture like that?
For the first question, not in my family, but I know I have some friend that they have the honor killing in their family. And for the second question, that I think, I don't know, new generation, they're better than us. Honestly, they're very better than us. But in my age and my generation, I think it was scary because, as I mentioned, that what if every day you just have this opinion, oh, if my father knows that, he will kill me. It definitely killed me. And also this society, it just like, I think it's a scary because of the society and everything. But if you have the family that support you, it's not as scary anymore. It was scary for me when I walk in the street every time, but when I just remember that, okay, my father loves me. He was very strict in some way, but he loves me. He always supported me. My mother always supported me. It wasn't as scary as. And also the other thing that maybe I'm not a good person. Actually, I don't know. But I live in a big city in Iran. So in Tehran, because it's just like, because you have more education, you have more freedom. So technically, it's not very scary. It's not very scary as the small area in a small town, because in the small town, because of the lack of the education, the culture and everything, so they were very more strict. But I think new generation, they definitely make it better. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.